Welcome. Take it up with Jessica Lee. I'm here with Dean Beaver, who is the VP of Worldwide Sales at Gigamon. Hi, Dean.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yes, well, thank you for coming in. I would love to hear more about Gigamon because I know you are in a quite unique situation here and you've got fantastic sales and it's grown really well. So tell us, what is driving such demand for your solutions?
Actually, two major directions. One is the challenges within the traffic itself. There's security, encrypted traffic that many times it's increased from 25%. Now it's close to 75 to 80% of the traffic. A lot of solutions out there aren't able to see it, so we have to decrypt it for them so they can see that. Also, certain packets are being split up, especially in the service provider world. You have control and user plane that goes different directions. So we need to correlate that, bring it back so that it can be used. Beyond just the visibility aspect of being able to look at so much traffic and getting that into solutions that are not able to achieve the speeds that are out there. That's another area that we're actually solving for today's environment.
Wow. Okay. So do you actually sell directly to the companies that need it, or do you sell via the security partners?
Good question. Actually, we sell mostly directly to the companies that need it, but we also have an alliances program too. An alliances program is actually where our product tied with their solution gives them a better product so they can compete against their competitors in the market.
Okay.
So we do both.
All right. So let's talk about sales because, I want to get some best practice, some tips or lessons learned that you want to offer as far as how do you accelerate sales, in a B2B technology play?
Right. So, I think it's, historically, companies usually come out with a pricing model and this is how we go to market. This is how we sell our product. In our case, we have that baseline, but we also now are able to kind of modify it based on what the customer's needs are. So we've had customers that come to us who said, I want to buy based on capacity. I want to buy based on subscription, or I want a site license. And so we've been able to design many different targeted pricing models that the customer actually wants to consume our product a certain way, which allows us to design something that ultimately gives us the upper hand. The fact that we're not public today allows us to do things that a lot of public companies aren't able to do.
Okay, so that old traditional model of pricing didn't work as well.
Yeah.
And the new pricing model seems to be appealing.
It is, and especially for our largest customers who actually have have to buy a certain way. We used to sell our hardware software as a bundled solution. Now we actually are able to do a separation of software from our hardware. We're able to tie in maintenance into our site license models, for example, which lowers OpEx costs for companies which don't want to have an OpEx bill. So there's a lot of ways we've designed to allow our customers to consume our product easily.
And that was based on the customer asking for this, right? You're responding to the demand? Correct.
And I think what we've done at Gigamon is that the customers all have something slightly different from each other than how they want to consume our product. And so we've been able to listen to what they say and then actually customize a pricing model that works for them.
Okay. So on the sales front, any strategy changes or any strategy tips as far as your sales team, the people, and the go-to-market?
Yeah, I think as far as the kind of the go-to-market, we actually we verticalized a lot of our sales team. So we have specialties. We have an enterprise sales team. We have a federal government sales team. And then we have a service provider sales team. So and the way you sell to each of the customers are very different from each other, which is why having the verticalization allows us to do much better in each of those targets.
And then within each vertical, do you separate like enterprise and commercial? Do you do that kind of tiering?
So yeah, within enterprise, we definitely have some named accounts within there. But usually if you're an enterprise rep, you're selling to the enterprise customers. You're not selling to the service provider accounts. Internationally, we do have some hybrid roles, which kind of do a little bit of both because it's a smaller market. But in general, that's how we have it generalized, kind of verticalized at that point.
And how do you like set up the career path or the motivation for sales to like achieve quotas?
Very good. Yeah, we actually drive a weekly cadence that we're tracking each of the reps that they roll up to a number to their manager, who rolls it up to their RVP, who rolls it up to their VP, and each along the way we have categories that we track that the opportunity and making sure that it's moving a pathway that we need to. We have a lot of motivational areas that we're taking. You know, our obviously our team is pretty common in sales. You have a club trip, you have bonus programs, you have all kinds of different things that motivate them to do that. And then obviously their goal is to get to accelerators so that they can kind of really overachieve at that point.
Well, you know how I hear sometimes that you have to know what really motivates people, and money is not always the case.
That's true. That's right. I think, in salespeople, obviously money is a driver for some of them, but I think a lot of it is they want the recognition. They want to, against their peers, they want to do better than their peers are doing.
The competition.
And they like that competition, right? And they like to go to club, and they, able to bring their spouse along or significant other with them, so that, this year we're going to go to Ireland as an example. And so, these are places which a lot of places that people don't normally go to for vacation. So that's why a club trip like that is always nice.
And where is the growth coming from as far as, like, you mentioned it, you manage the global team, but, like, I know data is growing, security is growing, and encryption is growing, but is that everywhere or certain regions are more?
That's a good question. In the service provider market specifically, it's growing very, very rapidly with 5G coming probably in 2020 and 2021. All the big providers are actually, investing a lot into 5G. And that's going to be a huge growth, because 5G is not just your cellular phones anymore. It's going to be access to your home internet. And there's going to be, the cable companies are going to have some challenges, because now they're going to be competing with the likes of the big telcos out there, because 5G is very fast to your home. So that's a transformational era that's happening, which is causing a large investment by the telcos. The federal government is doing wonderful for us as well. Enterprise space is very solid business for us. But if I look at where we're growing, it's probably, a lot of it is service provider and federal government.
And that's global.
Right.
Yes. Okay. So what's a big challenge for you? Everything seems to be really nice, really, great, but is there a major challenge that you want to overcome?
I think there's always, I mentioned 5G. I mean, with 5G means that we have to always stay in front of what is coming in the new technology. 5G has many different ways that you can design and architect their environment. And so we have to be able to solve 5G for all the different telcos, and they may be different from each other. So there's really hasn't been a defined 5G that everyone's going to be doing it this way.
Like a standard.
There's the standard. There's a lot of standards, and so and all of them are not following the same one. So we're having. I think that would be definitely the technology challenge that we have. We're definitely overcoming that, but that is always trying to stay in front of how technology is shifting and changing.
All right. Well, I'm so glad to hear Gigamon's doing well. Thank you so much, Dean, for being on the show to share with us.
My pleasure.
There you have it, folks. Take it up with Jessica Lee, Dean Beaver from Gigamon.